Okay, welcome to Cashflow 101. Come learn how to make true passive income. Passive income without talking to your friends. Passive income. This is true passive income. But I need to explain to you first what this is, the Cashflow quadrant. Okay. So, quickly,
We can't see your screen, Walter.
whoa! Oh, that's no good. Let's show on my
Okay.
screen here, okay?
You had one job. You had one job to do.
I had one job. One thing. One job. I think an IT guy would have figured out his one job. But there you go. That's the one job. And we're going to talk about the how to make passive income. And I'm going to briefly explain about the cash flow quadrant because different things happen in different quadrants, and we are all somewheres, maybe in different places on this. And so is it employees. So things that happen with employees is you pay the most taxes and you make the least amount of income. And the problem with being an employee or a self-employed is you trade times for dollars. And if you don't work that day, you don't get paid. Even if you're self-employed, you don't work that day, you don't get paid. Even if you have employees, you don't get paid. Okay. So here's the thing about employees. You trade time for dollars and you pay the most taxes. But also under the employee section, these people tend to buy the most doodads. And you go, well, what the heck is a doodad? I'll explain to you what a doodad is. The bank calls things assets that make them money. Okay. So on their ledger, it's an incoming of money. And so that's why it's an asset. You also have this same item on your ledger, but it's not on the asset column, it's on the debit column, okay? Because you're spending money every month, renewal fee, whatever it is, okay? And so people in this section tend to buy the most doodads, things that are in the debit column. And what you need to do is to convert those things into the asset column or have assets that are working for you. And I'm going to shortcut this process so you guys don't have to go through this whole entire going from an employee and in self-employed and then to business owner and then to investor. I'm going to show you how to get directly to that to go from here. Okay. But just to explain self-employed people are people like doctors, lawyers, plumbers, contractors, painters. These are all people that are self-employed, and often they go from here to here. One, education is one route. Second is as a result, well, I can do this better. And as a result of them taking on the job themselves, they don't have to pay their boss anymore, but they're still being paid basically by the hour. And so if they don't work that hour, they don't get paid. And so people tend to then migrate up into becoming a big business owner. And you can have shares in a company this way, or you buy a franchise. So those cost millions of dollars, for example, to buy a McDonald's franchise. And you then have employees, and you then have to deal with their drama. But it's a system. Okay, so it's a business system that makes it so that the business system makes you money. Okay. The other thing that happens in here is you've got word of mouth advertising, relationship marketing. This fits in here as well because it's a low startup and it's a business system. The concept behind this is I would sooner have 100 people, 1% of all of their efforts than 100% of my own efforts. It's the concept of learning, knowing how to work more efficiently and more effectively. Okay. And so let's shortcut all this and go directly to investor. This is where we want to be because you get your assets working for you. I'll give you an example. So if you have a house, your house is not an asset because it's a out of money every month. You're paying the bank every month. That's why they call it an asset. But for you, it isn't an asset. For you, it's a debit. But one way to make it an asset is, let's say you rent out a basement or rent out a room. It's now an asset because it's now paying you every month or paying you every day. Okay, I use that as an example. Other things that the bank calls assets that are not assets, cars, snowmobiles, bikes, motorbikes, thousands of books, DVD library, stuff. Okay. That's what people that's what keeps them in the middle class. And so you want to have your assets working for you. So let's talk more about assets. Okay. But before we talk about assets, who wants to stay as an employee for the rest of their life and making the dreams for someone else? Or would you like to bypass that and become an investor? Would you like to have your money working for you? Feel free, put it in the chat. One problem that is occurring is the dollar, the purchasing power, the ability to have spending power is going significantly down. Like, I don't know the age range of people on this call, but I know when my grandparents were, around, that it cost them a lot less to buy stuff. And my parents were around, it cost them, and slowly this has been going down. In summers in here, people noticed that they had to have two sources of income. They had to have the husband working and the wife working. Somewhere in here, people started picking up three sources of income. Well, it's because the purchasing power of the dollar is going down. Okay. But to be able to have control of our lives, control of our finances, we need to have passive income. And so the passive income, as it grows, at some point in time, the passive income will be greater than our expenses. Okay. And so here's a question for you. Think in your own mind. Everyone knows what their finances are. Everyone should know what their finances are. If they don't, that's another discussion we can have another day. However, you should know what your finances are. Put in the chat, what amount of money would you need coming in every day or every month to go, my bills are now paid. Okay. That's what I mean by passive income, is that you've got money coming in that you don't have to be attending a job. You don't have to be physically out there, breaking your back to do that. But it's money that's coming into your house, into your finances, and is exceeding your expenses. Write that number down in the chat, and we'll talk about that in a moment, okay? Because everybody has a break-even point where, now I'm out of the rat race. To make it out of the rat race, your passive income has to be greater than your expenses. That's it. Once your passive income is greater, you are out of that rat race. And you know the rules. You know how to duplicate that again and double your passive income, quadruple your passive income. Okay. So let's talk about, I want to move this picture here. I want to talk about comparing the price of gold, silver, and the dollar, and how the dollar has gone down over time. And this is a clear example of this. This is a Corvette Stingray. And in 1974, it cost $6,000 to buy. Was that an expensive car at that time? Yeah, it was. Today, it costs $69,000. Why is there such a disparaging difference in price? It's because the ability to purchasing power is going down. You've got things going against you. You've got interest. You've got the inflation, which is 3.5% a year. You've got, so that's one factor of why the cost of living is going up, is because of inflation. Also, the ability, the purchasing power of the dollar itself is going down, and that's why it's costing more. And this is why we're having to have a second or third or fourth job. Okay, but look, and I'll explain why. Look at gold. Gold, 34 ounces back in 1974. Buy a car, a brand new, spanking nice car. Today, 25 ounces of gold, and that's expected because the value of gold is the same. It's just the dollar has gone down so much that it's okay. And so silver, yeah, it's changed a little bit. So let's compare that to Bitcoin. If you had bought this this Corvette in 1974 with Bitcoin, it would have cost you $6 million, 6 million Bitcoins. Okay. Today, it only cost you 1.6 Bitcoins. Why is that? Is because Bitcoin is doing the exact opposite that money is. Money is being undervalued. It's being controlled by governments, by companies, by people. It's being undervalued all the time. Bitcoin cannot be undervalued. Bitcoin is the best source of where to store your wealth ever. Okay. And we'll talk about Bitcoin mining in a second here. But why is it that Bitcoin is a good source of storing wealth? Well, let me ask you some other questions first. Why is it that companies are buying Bitcoin? Why is it that governments are buying Bitcoin? Like they own lots and lots of Bitcoin. Why do they buy it and tell us not to? Why is that? Okay. Part of the reason why, feel free to answer in the chat. Why? Okay. Part of the reason why is because control of the asset. But here's some other important things about this asset that you need to know. Okay. So Bitcoin in the past 11 years has been 8 of the past 11 years has been the top performing of any class. Any class, it's the top performer. Why is it the top performer? Is because there's a lot of things going on about Bitcoin that are really, really important. Okay. Bitcoin is the best place to store wealth for a couple of reasons. One, it's going up in price. Okay. Now, experts like Kathy Woods and Robert Kiyosaki, they're saying that the Bitcoin is going to reach $1 million in the next few years. It's going to reach $500,000 next year. And why do they say that? The reason why they say that is because when you look at the graph of Bitcoin, okay, the graph, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But over the long run, it's going up. Okay, it's going up in price. And these little ups and valleys are great for trading it, and that's okay. But for the long-term storage of wealth, this is why, one of the reasons why Bitcoin is the best place to store your wealth is because 10 years down the road, 50 years down your road, someone who is smarter than you, someone who is more savvy on monetary reasons, they will want to buy Bitcoin from you, okay? And you'll be taking advantage of that. The other reason why Bitcoin is a good store of wealth is because, first of all, like I said, it's not controlled by anyone. It's completely intellectual. It's a computer-generated piece of code that every 4 years, the ability to create it is reduced by half, okay? This makes it so that over time, the ability to make it becomes harder and harder to do. But at the same time, the demand for it is going up because people realize that it is truly an asset that is not controlled by any entity, by any government, by any person. They can't manipulate it. And that's why it's a good store of wealth. Another reason why it's a good store of wealth is because you can transfer Bitcoin from one location to another location very easily. There are 3 ways to acquire Bitcoin. One is you simply buy it, and I would encourage you to buy it every day. Just buy a little bit. Convert your wealth, convert your worthless fiat currency into something worthwhile that is long-lasting, that'll be around for basically forever. And the reason why it's around forever is because you can't destroy it. If every computer on the network you go, well, what if I can take and I make it so that all of the computers on the network they no longer can recognize the Bitcoin. Well, if that happens, that means every computer in the world isn't working because we've had some sort of nuclear winter happen, and you won't have any banking, you won't have any electricity, you won't have any finance system. If Bitcoin goes down, you won't have any of those things either, so it won't matter, okay? The second way to acquire Bitcoin is by goods and services. So let's say that you have a product that you sell, you get paid in Bitcoin. That's a really great way to acquire Bitcoin. The best way to acquire Bitcoin is by mining it. Now, in the mining industry, this is a mining machine. It's just a computer. All it does is it detects movement on the network. This is a graphical interface showing movement on the network. Every single one of these falling blocks are bits of Bitcoin that are being transferred from place A to place B right now. Every single one of these is someone moving Bitcoin. And every single one of these, what happens is the machine has to detect the movement on the network. It then does a computational math problem to resolve that, okay? And upon resolving it, it then posts it. Only the first computer that posts, they then receive, with every single one of these transfers, there's a fee that attaches, just a little cost. the first computer that posts it, they receive that fee, okay, as part of the mining process. And so it gives them incentive to want to transfer the Bitcoin from one place to another. They wants to post it is because they then earn that fee. But all additional computers that are posting that then answer it, only the first one that answered it first gets the reward. All the other ones don't. Okay. All of that Bitcoin is put into the mining pool, and every 10 minutes, all of that Bitcoin is then dumped there. Okay. On that process, new Bitcoin is created, and which, you know, half of it is, it takes less amount every 4 years, a less amount, half of it is being created. So it's less and less and less. And that is dumped into the mining pool. To get the Bitcoin out of the mining pool, only the machine that put it there can pull it back up. If he chooses to sell it to, you know, a retailer, he can. And many people do. They just sell it to a retailer. And then the retailer, like KuCoin, like Kraken, like Binance or crypto.com, as an example, those are retailers. They buy the Bitcoin and then they retail it to us. So that's how we can also get Bitcoin. So let me talk to you how we are involved in this process, because this is high electricity costs to produce this Bitcoin. And so how we are involved is we actually are helping the mining companies by reducing, basically what works like this. They've got an amount of Bitcoin that they make every day, okay? By us getting involved, the Bitcoin that we produce above that, we then share back to them, okay? And so they have the amount of Bitcoin that they normally make, and it takes a certain amount of electricity and a certain amount of energy, and they have to upgrade their machine periodically, and they have to pay all of those upfront costs, and we make Bitcoin on top of that, in addition to, and then we share this Bitcoin back with them, okay? And so how do we do that is our machine is connected to those machines. It's just a USB device, just plugs into the computer. And that USB device is connected to the server out in Kuala Lumpur, and it detects on the network movement on the network. We already talked about that. And the movement on the network, it detects it, and it goes, what is the easiest jobs to do? And it sends those to the miner to do first. So the easiest job, the next easy, the harder job, next harder, next harder, okay? It sends those in order to the mining machines so that they process them faster, more efficiently, okay? And the next thing that it does is those jobs that don't need to be processed. For example, we already talked about this, the next computer that does the same mathematical computation that another computer is doing, well, it doesn't win the reward. So from our perspective, why do it? Only just do the ones that haven't been picked up yet. It tosses out the ones that are already being worked on or have already been posted, okay? And so that's an important reason why we, how our machine gets involved. Our machine itself is the mining that it does speeds up the efficiency. There we go. That's the picture I was looking for. We share out with the mining company the Bitcoin that is earned. Okay. So we share out 60% of the Bitcoin that is earned back to the mining farms that we have a contract work with. We've got 3 mining farms that we are working with, that we've got a contract with, and the Bitcoin that we make, we share back to them. And so they've got no additional upfront cost by working with us. They simply have a contract saying, hey, we will share the Bitcoin that we make back with you. 30% of the Bitcoin that we make goes back to us, the booster owners, and 10% goes to the company, our mediator, the BitHarvest, okay? And so by us doing that, this makes it a very fair and easy way to make Bitcoin. Write in the chat, who wants to make Bitcoin? Like, who doesn't want to make Bitcoin? This is so great, okay? In this example, from the 6th of March to the 26th of June, we had made 100 Bitcoins. And so 60 of them went to the mining farms. Okay, that they have no additional cost to do that. They're just simply, yeah, sure, take that on. We love that. 30% went to us, and 30 Bitcoins went to us, and 10 Bitcoins went to the mining company. So here's another question for the chat. Who wants to be in business for themselves? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to shortcut being in business for yourself, and buying a booster. If you are in business for yourself, many people have been in business for themselves. In this example, costs you $50,000, but you've got the rent, you've got the product that you have to purchase, you've got drama from your employees, you've got lots of stuff. Okay, so $1,000 a month in monthly costs. Let's just average it out. Okay, your monthly income is $1,000. That's very typical. Your yearly estimated is $12,000. $12,000. Okay, that's buying a regular business, just a regular mom and pop shop. Okay, or you could take that same amount of money and put it into a booster. Now you've got assets working for you. We've already talked about assets and what they are. This is an asset that now makes you money every single day. You buy 50 of them, as an example, $50,000. Same price, but you don't have the hassles. You don't have the headache. You don't have any, and it's a one-time cost. You don't have to buy any more every month. You don't have to. Your daily income, estimated $200. Your monthly income, estimated $6,000, and your yearly is estimated $72,000. Right in the chat, who would sooner buy boosters than start up a business? Andy, like buying boosters. In this description, did I talk to any of my friends about this already? Or is this truly passive income or what?
It's pure passive income. It doesn't get a better example of passive income than this. You buy the booster, it goes to work for you forever. You don't need to do anything else. You can go away, live on an island, come back in 50 years and collect your Bitcoin. It's passive. Absolutely purely passive.
Right in the chat. Who wants passive income? Okay. Let's talk about real estate, just as another example. Okay. In real estate, you can flip houses. That's okay. You can buy multiple units. That's okay too. Okay. So for me to have a true passive income, I've got to have 5 or so units working for me. But let's just work with one unit. Okay. One property, $100,000. You have to buy the property, got to fix it up, do advertising, and because you're not in control of anybody else, who knows when you'll be able to sell it if you want to, or at the price that you want to, or there's all sorts of factors, and maybe you eventually can't sell it, and so you've got to put some tenant in instead, because otherwise it's consuming money. It's not an asset until it makes you money. Okay. And so you put tenants in there, and now you have to deal with that. Monthly estimated cost about $500. Yearly estimated income $6,000. Or you can buy some boosters. 100 booster costs you the same amount, $100,000. A one-time fee. Again, your daily income $400. Your monthly income $12,000. Your yearly income $144,000. Right in the chat. Who would sooner simply buy some boosters than buy 1 property, 2 property, 3 property, 4 property, 5 property, to then have a passive income that makes a difference? Remember, we talked about this. Your passive income is what determines your future. Your passive income is you're now out of the rat race and you've got your bills paid. Okay, that stress is now taken off your. Hey, Wendell, what would you like to say? Go ahead and unmute him, please. Andy?
All right, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering how long it's going to take for whatever idiots were hiding in the chat to actually do something stupid. But Andy already caught him and got him out of there. So we can't type in chat. But just looking at this, I was thinking about this particular slide. And I said, if you played it today, I was going to make a comment. No matter how many properties you get compared to the booster, it doesn't matter. It's like you're not going to win by getting properties at this point. But here's the part where, again, working smarter, not harder. If you really, really like real estate, let's say you got $1 million and you decide, hey, I really want real estate. But this is a smarter way because it's working smarter, not harder. No work involved. You're buying a product. All it does is produce Bitcoin. That's it. There's no fancy. It doesn't take care of the kids. It doesn't run errands. It's not going to do some other function. It only produces Bitcoin for you and your household. So why would you, as a business person, working smarter, not harder? What the wealthy do. That's what they do. They don't work harder, not smarter. They work smarter, not harder. So why wouldn't you get the boosters? Let's say $1 million. That's 1,000 boosters. Okay, if you put $1 million in this example on the screen, you're gonna get 1,000 properties, but you only talk about making about $5,000 because you're 10xing that 500 on average. Could be lower, could be higher. Well, wait a minute. If you multiply 12,000 by 10, now you're talking about 120,000 a month. How much is the property again? 100,000. Like literally the next month, you could go. This is so crazy. Literally the next month from your pay, you could turn around and start buying property. But wait, there's more. You still have 1,000 boosters producing 120,000 at Bitcoin's current price. Not when it goes higher, it's gonna be even more. And you could get your property one a month, still pocketing extra leftover, and they're all making more machines for you, producing even more.
That's right.
This is absolute. Why? Again, no, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But if I wanted property and I knew there was a better way to do it, me personally, I would grab the better way and monthly start to build the portfolio I've always wanted my whole life. Whatever the reason you want to get into real estate with what's listed on the screen, still do that. Or whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. It's like, why would you not work smarter, not harder? That's just my 2 cents on this topic.
And I appreciate your 2 cents there, Wendell. It's awesome. That's a good segue into this next slide. Like this next slide, you've got 1 Bitcoin as an example. Okay, so you have 1 Bitcoin, and if you do nothing this year, you will still have 1 Bitcoin. Well, okay, if you don't spend any of it, but you might. Okay, so you'll still have 1 Bitcoin. Let's just call that after this 1 year. But if you take that 1 Bitcoin and you buy, for example, 70 boosters, because each booster costs $1,000, and so that's why it's 70 boosters. The boosters itself are an asset that work for you. It's a one-time fee, one-time cost. And the booster makes 1.823 Bitcoins a year. Okay. Next year, this is a good example. I like how Wendell brought this up. Next year, you'll still have 70 boosters. And you make another 1.823 Bitcoins. The year after that, you still have 70 boosters. Well, I won't. I would have more. But you might. You might have only 70 boosters, and that's okay. And it'll make you another 1.823 Bitcoins. Do you get what I'm talking about here? Right in the chat. Do you understand what I mean by this is passive income? Truly passive. You've got a machine that works for you, and you are now receiving money every day. Every day you are receiving money. I'm going, man, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Okay. You get paid every day in Bitcoin. So I asked at the beginning, I was going to pull, Wendell sent me the updated version of this. I'll put it in for next time. This talks about where is the break-even point? I know a bunch of you answered the question. I'm not looking at the chat, but Andy did. Where's the break-even point for you? Where do you need to have, does your passive income meet that chart where you are now exceeding your expenses? Where is that for you? Okay. For many, many people, it's between 10 boosters and 100 boosters for most people, because, $840 a month to $8,000 a month, that's about where most people reside. Okay. But you start where you are at. There are people on our team that have bought 1,000 boosters. Boom. That's $84,000 a month they are making. That's a lot of money. But it's passive income for them. Some people on our team, there are a few that have bought 100 boosters each. That's $8,400 a month. Okay, this is where my goal is I want to get up to 100 boosters. Right now, I'm below that, but a nice good goal is between 10 and 50 boosters, because then you really see every day that money coming in, $800 a month, $4,000 a month, respectively. There are other people on the team. I actually started here. I started at one share. That's where I was, because that's where my finances. That's where I started. Okay, everyone starts at some other place. But it's okay to start wherever you're at. Look at your finances, look at where you're at, and figure out where you want to go. If you can start up here, great, do so. If you have to start someplace lower, that's okay, do so. You've got to take action, because if you don't take action, you're losing this amount of money every day. You're losing it every day because the power of the dollar is going down. And so because the power of the dollar is going down, you're losing money just by doing nothing. You're losing money by doing nothing. You're also losing money if you don't take action, because other people are going to buy boosters instead of you. And there's only 500,000 boosters for sale. When it's done, it's done. Okay? So start wherever you're at. Grow your account to where it needs to be. And be happy. Take withdrawals. Have a good experience. Okay? This is the only business that I know of where you want a pay raise, great, buy a few more boosters and get a pay raise. It pays you more. Okay, I'm only in control of my account and what I do. I can't control what other people do. And so if I want a pay raise, I simply buy some more boosters. Okay, let's talk about the company itself a little bit. Okay, I'm going to show a picture of the company and some information here. This is the server room. This is one of the server rooms. We've got three, and we've got three for disaster recovery purposes. So they're in different locations in the city. This one here, I think they said holds 5,000 boosters. Each one of these little squares is a box that holds 20 boosters, and each row, so there's like 1,000 boosters almost on one little quadrant here. Okay, so these are all boosters in here, and this is a real office. This is real buildings. This is how we got involved. Is my friend was having lunch and in his hotel, looks across the street and sees BitHarvest on the door. BitHarvest, what is that? Walks across the street, walks in the front door, talks to reception, and goes, "What do you guys do?" And they talk to him about it. He's going, "Wow, this is the best thing I have ever seen." And that's how he told us about it. And people are tour the offices all the time. If you want to tour, go, please do. It's okay to have a tour of the office. If you want to go into the server room, however, and have a look, you need an escort, and that'll have to be scheduled, an appointment. Okay. And if you make an appointment, they're happy to book that. So people come into the office all the time. They got little breakout rooms all over the place. Hey, Andy, I want to ask you a question. If I know that you and I have done lots of research onto lots and lots of different companies. What makes a good company? Like what's the criteria that you look for to see if it's a good company? Because, well, I'll let you answer. What do you want to answer?
Well, I always start right at the very beginning. How was the company formed? Who formed it? What are their credentials? What's the repute of the owners? What's the repute of the management? What industry are they involved in? What's their startup capital? So I don't even look at the actual opportunity itself for maybe several hours, maybe several days of due diligence, because I want to find out all about the company. Do they carry patents? Do they have intellectual property? Have they got proper watertight contracts with people? How many staff have they got? Have they got a proper HR department, a training department, an accounts department? So all the things you would expect a company like Tesla or Microsoft or a big blue chip company to have. That's what I look for in a company. And it's only if I'm satisfied that they're a properly set up company and capable of doing the type of business and doing the business in the real world, then I start looking at whether it's a good opportunity. When I did that with BitHarvest, I found that the company is top notch. It's first rate. I've never seen a company as well set up as this in this space. I've seen a lot of blue chip companies, set up according to the Harvard manual of, what a good company looks like. There's plenty of those on, the S&P 500 or the FTSE 500 or whatever. But you don't normally see it in this space, in this online, this online space. Normally it's a man with a good idea and 2 part-time coders, and that's it. Not a very robust setup at all. I'm hoping really just to convince people to give him money so that he can do what he wants to do, and hopefully make the whole thing work. But that rarely pans out for him. Anyway, sorry, I digress. So that's what I look for in a company. Before I ever look at the platform, I look at the company. Sorry, you're muted, Walter. I apologize. You're muted.
Yes, I was muted. Sorry. What I said is let's share a quick little video, so you guys can see people in the server room when they're talking. Okay. So
okay. So let's start it. All right. So as you see the whole shop.
This is the server room, but this is the interaction
so every single booster, all the purchase.
So let's just fast forward to where she pulls. What she does is she pulls a device out, and in real time, my friend, he pulls up on his screen the device, and it shows then inactive. Okay, so let's.
Once I unplug.
Yep.
Now is
5.3 active.
So it's active.
She's gonna unplug it.
Time what she
Okay,
does,
so I will
pulls it
1,
out,
2, 3, 4.
and then he looks on his screen, and it then shows as inactive.
Inactive right there instantly. Wow.
Yeah, instantly.
Awesome.
You're gonna type back your serial code?
And check
Yeah.
my serial number on there. Can you look? Yeah.
You can see the
3756.
Yes.
You know what? This is the first.
And so this serial number is what you get when you every single unit that you buy, you have a warranty with it, and it's your unit, and the 5-year warranty with it, and that's why when it was pulled out of the system, it then showed on his account that it went to inactive because it's his device. Okay, and she's going to put that back in there, and it'll be live again. So what I'm going to do is at this point, we're going to stop my sharing of the screen. And is there anybody that would like to tell their experience of, what they thought when they got involved with the company? If there's anyone that would like to give a testimony, please stick up your hand, and Andy will unmute you. And I'm going to clear my screen so I can see you guys easier.
Yeah, so put up your hand at the bottom of the Zoom screen. There's a little heart-shaped icon that says react, and the big bar across the bottom of that says put your hand up or raise hand. Okay, so we have Janet, and Janet, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself and come and tell us your story.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Janet.
How are you? So
I'm incredible. How are you?
I'm incredible too. So when I started, which was a few months ago, I started and I just put 100 in because I was doing something else at the time. And then I just happened to be talking to a couple people, in general, I wasn't trying to recruit at all. But then when I had people interested, I was just like, whoops. Sorry. Yeah. I'm at a friend's house.
Come with me. I just can't log on.
Yeah, it's Ivy. She can't log on, but I'm with her in Georgia right now. So, and she, she's the one that introduced it to me. So, we're working together to build this team. So, once people, they were interested, I was like, I kind of left the other thing and started building this. So, I'm now, me and Ivy are both a 1-star, and we've been in it a few months. So, it's exciting to watch it go up. You know, it started $3 a day for $4, and now we're at like 15, somewhere around there, and on just the one booster. So we're excited.
That is
Excellent.
great. Thank you for
Excellent.
sharing.
So, Janet, you said that you weren't interested in recruiting people to start with, and then you said, you know, people were getting in. So were people getting into your business as a result of you talking to them, even though you
Yes.
said originally not to recruit people? So,
Yes.
so
Yes.
what changed? What were you saying to these people that all of a sudden they were interested in getting into your business?
I basically was just talking about how I'm testing this, you know, Bit Booster, making Bitcoin. I said the only reason that I decided to do it is because we're earning BTC. That is Bitcoin. I'm like, you know, the Bitcoin. So anything else I've ever been in, we weren't making BTC. So after I made my first $100 and I withdrew it, I sent it to my Cash App and I sent it to my bank. Then I started just, you know, kind of mention it to see what people would do. And now we're all trying to work as a team and build together.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That is awesome. And I would suspect that the reason why you talk to people is because you love them. Because
I do.
Because you're having a good experience and you want them to have a good experience too.
Absolutely. And we're all going to do this together, you know?
That's exactly right.
There's only 500,000 of them. So I'm like, I don't, you know, I'm not the wealthy, but I want to be the wealthy. So we're buying, I'm bit boosting every time I get an opportunity.
Excellent. Well, that's the question, isn't it, Janet? Do you want more bit boosters or less?
More.
Exactly. That's every thinking person on the planet should be saying more boosters, please.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing with us. I appreciate it.
All right,
so
let's go on.
Lisa, let's unmute you and come and talk to us, please.
Well, I agree with everything Janet just said. She took the words right out of my mouth. I started because I like Greg, and I just said, you know, I didn't really understand it. And I've been in so many things so many times and spent so much money. I just kind of came in small to test the water. And I kind of wish I would have started out with a whole booster because I really like it. It's simple, and I find myself, you know, driven to get to 1 star now, you know, because it's like reflected on your own efforts, you know, whether you get a raise or not, you know, and I'm a result driven person, and I love to see that BTC show up in my wallet every day. I'm like, cool, that's fun, you know, and I just find it easy, simple, and I just find myself sharing, even though I intended to do it purely passive as well, you know. But now when I talk to people, I'm like, hey, you got to check this out. You know, I like it way better than I anticipated. And I'm hooked now. You know, I wanna go to corporate office. Me and Melissa are going.
Great. Excellent. Excellent. There's going to be a chance for that coming up in the new year as well. So, but of course, you can go to the corporate offices anytime you want. Anybody who gets to Kuala Lumpur can, you know, arrange with the company. The company will take you from the airport down to the hotel across the street, put you up for 3 nights, host you at the company offices, show you around the facility. You get to meet other leaders from all over the world. So there, you know, we don't see that with a lot of these other companies. It's very often difficult to find out who owns the company or where they're based, and these people have an open door policy. So you know, you can go visit anytime you like.
I love it.
All right.
Absolutely. Excellent.
Thank you.
Lisa, thanks for sharing. So Wendell, my friend, come and speak to us.
All right, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so just to update, like I said, I was just so excited, did some misquoting in the beginning, but just to update the actual numbers from just the boosters, 87% of my wife's pay. I'm not talking about the commission, not the icing. I ain't worried about the icing, just the cake. 87% from just boosters replaced our income so far.
Yeah.
Of course, because of the other little small streams we had already had going, some passive, adding that in pushed us to where we are now. I told y'all last week 103. We're up to 106% of her income now has been replaced in just 9 weeks, which is bananas. But the big number is where we were before we added Bit Booster to our passive income, just at $134 a week. Now sits at 1,284. Now pushing us to 955% increase. That's just ridiculous. We're almost 10x where we were before Bit Booster got added to our portfolio, to our ecosystem. We're up 955%. We're close to now 1,000%, which obviously should definitely happen probably well before the year even ends. That's just, it's crazy. It's beautiful. I love it.
So would you say it was kind of hard work? You know, you got calluses on your hands now after doing all that mining?
Absolutely not.
Your back's aching a little bit from all the hard work you had to do?
Nope. Just sitting around watching the boosters just keep adding more and more and more, with or without my effort. Like, for example, we'll see how good the reception is. But next week, the whole week, we'll be on a cruise with Carnival. I love cruises. But we'll see how good the reception is, if I can get on here or not. Probably open the camera, show you guys some ocean view while we're alongside the ship and getting paid in Bitcoin. Like, doesn't matter if we're at home, if we're on a cruise ship, if I fall down, if I'm asleep, feel like it, don't feel like it. Every day, these little devices are designed to do one thing: make whoever owns them wealthier financially, because wealth is more than just finance, but make you wealthier just because you have them. The more you have, the more you make. It's literally that simple. I'll be trying to broadcast, not trying. If I can, I'll broadcast from the ship.
Yeah, we like that. That would be great. Well, thanks for sharing again, Wendell. Your insights are always inspirational and informative, and I'm excited. The journey you're on is inspiring so many other people. So keep it up, keep it up. So, Lace, you're already unmuted. Come and say hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh well, I'm just so grateful to be a Bit Booster owner, because I started off like, I'm a single mum, so I'm struggling, but I can actually see a light at the end of the tunnel now. As before, I was in darkness. So I just want to thank you guys for giving us this opportunity to for a lot of people, actually, as many people in the world as possible, because this is going to change everybody's lives around. And it's the only thing that I can see that's going to make a difference, really. So I just wanted to say that.
That's great, Lisa. I tell you, that actually shows a great insight, because I said something a few weeks ago, or a few months ago now, that there are so many people going to bed tonight just so worried about their finances, their future, not only for themselves, but for their family, for the college fund, whether they can afford to have children, are they even gonna have somewhere to live next week? How can they put food on the table? People have so many fears and so many worries, all based around money. And this is the thing they're praying for. They're saying, please God, just just do something, and this is it. This is what they need to see. So what you were saying there, very, very insightful. I think this is the thing that the world needs.
100%.
Yeah, it's so nice. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks for sharing, Lace.
All right. I don't think there's anyone else that has stuck up their hand or wants to chat, so I think that we'd like to have some closing remarks from Randy and me, and we'll call it a day, at least for the live portion of the Zoom. And then we'll continue on our business meeting after.
Okay, the only closing remark I want to say is thank you for everybody who came on and gave a testimonial. That's tremendous, and it really does improve the quality of the video and the call we're on now, because brand new people need to see that we're all on the same journey. Nobody's special, nobody's different. We all started at the same place with 0 boosters and 0 Bitcoin coming in every day. We've all got the same hopes and fears and dreams and aspirations to turn this into a life-changing opportunity. So, you know, and those testimonials really help to bring that point home. A little bit on the housekeeping, and that is that we're in the season where clocks change. Different clocks around the world, different time zones change. So as we post the adverts for these Zoom calls, just keep an eye on the times. You know, we list all the times, different time zones. Just keep an eye on the one that affects you, because it may have changed or it may not have changed. So that's sort of the housekeeping thing, and then just to remind you, we do these Zoom calls 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, at roughly the same time, give or take daylight saving changes. So, you know, not only come back again, learn some more, see some more, contribute some more, but also bring your new people, because it consolidates their knowledge and their information. They learn more in a setting like this. You know, they learn some stuff from you personally, but they also learn some stuff in this setting as well. So that's it from me. That's my closing remarks.
But not only that, when I turn off the live Zoom, people are free to ask questions as well, because we want people to be educated. And so yeah, as soon as I power off the Zoom, people are free to ask questions. And so you got to be on the live call. You got to be on the call to ask questions, and we're happy to answer any question that you have. It's not a problem. Go ahead, Wendell. Try it again. Go ahead.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I missed the first few minutes. Did you and Andy get a chance to discuss if we're going to continue at 2 p.m.?
What we're going to do is we're going to be at 6 p.m. UK time. So whatever it is for us. So on Sunday, it affects us. We'll be back to regular time. So on it'll be 2 p.m. for you on Wednesday and Friday. It's
okay. So this week we are doing so we're making the change this week. Okay, good. I just set my alarms. Appreciate that. Also, I did see an article. I actually saw it this morning, and I just pulled it back up going by. You got, if you want, I'll drop the link in the chat, and then we can pull it up on the screen if you want. Either way.
What link?
No, I said I'll either drop it in the chat. I'll just say what it is, or we can pull it up. Everybody can screenshot and go read it for themselves, or I'll just drop the link in the chat.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just give me a second. I'll let you share. Go ahead and share it.
All right. Well, I just dropped it in the chat so everybody can go read it. But this is what it looks like. Let's see. Check this out. This happened 3 days ago on my older brother's birthday, actually. Check that out.
Yeah, of course. Very exciting.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
That's now let's see if anybody's been on here and you're wondering if Bitcoin's a good idea. Let's see. Walter showed us the countries, people, companies. Ever heard of this guy? This little company here, Microsoft? Yeah. They're talking about having a discussion about if they should put Bitcoin as shareholders. Of course, the company's saying don't do it, but they're a publicly traded company. If they have enough smart people that hold shares at that meeting, I believe it's December 10th, which is just around the corner, it's going to get pretty interesting for Bitcoin. That's going to happen anyway. Not financial advice. I'm not making any predicaments, just believing that it's going to the moon. So that right there is crazy. And then there's actually an article as well. I forgot to grab that. Here in the States, Pennsylvania, one of the key voting states, the key voting states, they just passed in the House of Representatives in favor of having Bitcoin and other cryptos regulated right and using it to make payments and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, if you're wondering if this is a good idea of what we're doing here, again, it's a personal opinion. Mine's is absolutely yes, but that's a decision you have to make. Just some nuggets that, yeah, country, states, the elections, Microsoft. I mean, the list is just getting longer and longer. So just wanted to pass that along.
Thank you so much, Wendell. Appreciate that. So I'll just last couple of things I want to say then. Like this is the best company ever. It truly is. Out of all the companies I've researched and done all sorts of stuff with, this is the best company. You don't have a monthly, like you're not buying, you know, vitamins and potions and lotions. You don't have to have a reoccurring buy to make money. Okay. You just buy your booster and it starts working for you that next day. And so you have that one-time cost. If you choose to grow your account, that's okay too. I would recommend it. And you can make more money as a result of compounding your account. Okay. But I would encourage you, talk to the friend that gave you this video. Go get your link created today and go make a deposit today. At least make a deposit of 1 share. Try it out, you know, make some withdrawals. Look at your finances and figure out where you want to be and then get to that spot. And there's a lot of variety of ways to get there, but you need to be there. You need to be on board. Your friend is giving you this because they love you, because they appreciate you, because they know that it'll make a difference in your life. Like it's made a difference in our lives, like it is making a difference in our lives. Okay. So that's what I want to share. And I will stop the recording at this point.